Due to the considerable amount of comments I got from the Omori video, and because I don't want to answer every single comment I see, I decided to make a video reading comments. That being said, I do have to say some things. I have to apologize about some stuff. First of all, about the quality of the video. I don't think a lot of people read the description, but the video that I ended up uploading was a funnier version of the video I had planned to upload. I discarded the original video idea because it was consuming so much time, and adding to that I had a lot of technical issues while I was making it. I also wasn't expecting for so many people to watch the video, so I ended up cutting a lot of footage for the sake of finishing it as soon as possible. Second, some of the comments I wrote that you will see that I should have written in a different way. I'm planning to do another video after this, where I talk about all of the things I dislike and like about this game, in a more serious way. I don't like being dishonest and not recognizing the good things this game has, which again I had planned to show. Third, this is and might be the only game I get close to having an irrational hate for. I am biased against it if it wasn't obvious. No other game has made me feel such a strong repulsion for it. I highly doubt you will ever see me hate a game so much, but I will try to enjoy the game to the fullest and give it an honest review next time. That being said, let's get into the comments. You can go to the video if you want to see my real responses and all. These comments were directed to me and not to you, so don't go there to neither harass or argue. Now this person says, I am not listening to all of that. What the hell did you even comment then? Get out. Let's move to an actual comment. Just because you try to compare it to reality does not make it any more justified. It doesn't matter about the realism of her death, it's about how it impacted Sunny and what Sunny must tell his friends. If you don't care about the game having an unrealistic argument, good for you. But if you're going to argue that it doesn't matter because of what you think, then there is a problem. The ending doesn't need to show the effects of telling the truth. How they respond doesn't matter. All that matters is that he finally told them the truth. I personally agree with that. Telling the truth even though it might hurt is the first step to vindicate yourself. However, saying that Sunny telling the truth is what only matters is a little bit shameless. And saying that the gameplay is simple doesn't mean you're correct. Not all games have outstanding gameplay. FNAF 1 is also simple and people still love it. Okay? And when has a child immediately thought to call the police? When has a child immediately thought of making a murder pass as a suicide? And you simplified every single aspect to make it sound so bland. Care to have me actually explain Mary's death instead? Cause you didn't even try. Okay, this is one thing that worries me. The reason why I made it sound so bland is because even knowing what happens, I do not care. It's that simple. It isn't cherry picking, it's just that I don't consider it to be good. You just sound like you're attacking everyone who enjoys it and you don't know why people like it. And don't say it's criticizing opinions. That doesn't make it reasonable for you to judge people based on their opinions. Okay, here we go. I do not care if you like Omori. I'm saying the game sucks, not that you suck. I asked what was so profound about Mary's death. The kid pushed her away because he was anxious, and her sister wanted the recital to be perfect. It was Sunny's choice to play the violin with her, and soon realizes that it wasn't exactly what he wanted and he wanted to be with his friends more. Oh heavens, poor kid can be with his friends 24/7. Yes, it's stress, but Mary didn't force him. And why would Mary force Sunny to be perfect? There's no goddamn proof in the game that she wanted him to be perfect. Not forced to be a perfect person, but to be perfect for the recital. Maybe force was not the word I should have used, but the point still stands. Also, there's proof in a line she says. Even the wiki points it out. She's literally apologizing in the damn line. What the hell do you mean she forced him? Even if she pushed him to continue, I don't think she was threatening to do something bad if he didn't continue. Again, maybe force was not the best word. I'm not sure why you are bringing the possibility of Mary threatening Sunny. I never even implied that. So then I said this and because of that I should call Mary an evil person who is a big liar and Sunny shouldn't regret killing her? No? I'm just gonna go. You didn't win. I'm just done arguing over this. Your damn ego is just not gonna allow you to accept people's opinions. Okay, where do I start? First of all, not agreeing with someone doesn't mean I don't accept their opinions. If you like the game, fine, that doesn't mean it's either bad or good. Second, calling Mary an evil person and a liar? I didn't even say anything about Mary. That's straight from you. And my ego! You know what? I will admit that sometimes I can think more of my statements, and I want to correct that. But nowhere in this conversation I exhibited any form of ego. If you have the right to constantly call a game a masterpiece, then I have the right to say it sucks. No one says I think Omori is a masterpiece, so why the hell do I gotta say I think Omori sucks? And by the way, I have constantly admitted that I have been wrong about things, because I am always open to being wrong. I am aware of that, it pains me to admit it, but if I have to, I will. Next comment. Though I highly disagree, I'm glad you pointed out some flaws on its behalf, such as a fairly uninteresting game gameplay-wise. It continues to be my favorite game because it pulled me out of a bad mental state I was at that time, and pushed me to do something. And to that is a great! If a piece of media is able to get you out of a bad mental state, I think that's great. That doesn't mean the media is objectively good, but if it is good for you, then great! And it's even better that you still like the game no matter what other people say. I responded with why I think this game was bad, and then another person said I respect your opinion. Everything was nice. For like a month. Honestly, most of you said can be highly disagreeable. Very good. And I respect opinions. Stay with me with this one. Also, who the hell says and I respect opinions? Okay, real average character. I think you completely mistook her character, and saying that she's going to turn good again was obvious. I said that because it was obvious. I thought it was an incredible, unique, depressing story, so it was disappointing seeing this handled in such a generic way. Generally doesn't bury the true intentions. In fact, I'm going to say the game wanted you to see that she's definitely going to turn good again. The entire character of Aubrey is about someone in grief who ended up in so much anger that they isolated themselves and turned into someone else. Someone who tries to be bad and numb but are still soft inside. This isn't even that wrong because people do this. I know. I didn't say this can't happen in real life. I say it's boring. People actually turn out like this. The entire problem with your argument is saying that Aubrey turned bad. While, no, she never turned bad or tried to be evil in any sense. Doesn't she go with a bat with nails around the town? If you see her environment, then how she ended up was normal, but still, she never truly hurt anyone. She used to call out Basil because he destroyed the memories the friends had. She never really bullied or hurt anyone. In fact, she was mad at Kel solely because he was refusing to understand the situation Aubrey was in. Yes, that's why Kel is the worst character in the game. I'm glad all of us can finally agree on that. Also, there's a point in where Aubrey refuses to explain with the excuse of that being none of his business. Because if we look at her completely, her behavior was reasonable. Everyone is reasonable in there. Also, what the hell is the thing with story sounds childish? A game about a child who accidentally murdered his sister while he was not in a good state at the age of 12. Okay, this argument angers me quite a lot. Anyone can create a story like that, but that doesn't mean anything. The story of a mother that kills his son in a car crash because she was drunk. The story of someone that falls into depression and his friends fail him when he needed them the most. The story of a person that loses his mother and he suffers because the last conversation that they had was them arguing. You can create a lot of these scenarios, but that doesn't mean it's automatically a good story. Him regretting it heavily, it never showed that any character in Omori is flawless. Characters being flawed is one of the most standard things in dramas. Have you played any other story-driven game? The part of good ending needs to be hard to get. Why? Lemao, why? This isn't one of those challenging games. Yeah, screw you Dark Souls players, you all suck. I'm joking, by the way. It's a game about a boy who slowly sees his past and slowly moves on. That will imply that he has been trying to move on for a while, but the events that make Sunny end up telling the truth actually happen in 3 days. About how people in depression just staying with caring people at all times can help them combat it, and how even the brightest stars can lose their shine in the face of grief. How did you want it to be difficult? Like, hit something 26 times in each battle to unlock one secret room in other Mark's bakery section, which can unlock a small vent to reach a single portion of a boss, which oh my god dude, learn when to stop the beat. The secret needed for the true ending, it's also weighted in its own terms. You respected Basil's interests. Huh? I did? His wish to keep his flowers alive. Oh, okay, that thing. I don't think it's that hard to realize that there's a reason why the game lets you shower them. I didn't even know that gave you the secret ending, which is just an extra cutscene at the end. I thought it was an after credits scene that everyone got. And by good ending being hard to get, I will admit, I guess there isn't really any need for it, and it's up to the dev's decision. But most of the time it doesn't feel like Sunny deserves redemption. He just stands there and somehow, oh, everything is somehow fixed. I guess he's fighting in his brain or something. He managed to leave the story at a portion which can be considered not a happy ending like many textbooks RPGs. Is Omori the only game you have ever played? And your argument about the no one did an autopsy, I'll tell you, they knew about the murder. They knew about what caused it. One black space hole even showed a shadowy figure saying that Sunny was no longer his son. What the hell is a black space hole? Well, definitely not that. It pains me to admit it, but I was wrong. Turns out that black thing under some keys you get isn't actually black goo. It's actually a hole. If you get inside all of them, you get a little secret. And this is entirely my fault. I will admit that. You were right. Although maybe I would have missed them if they let you interact with them from the beginning. The first key you get leaves something black, but you can't get inside. So I think I went, oh, I suppose it's just some black goo. You can't get inside the second one. The third one you get is literally 2 lines of text. And in the fourth one you probably get,
It's on the top of a bed!
I will say that both of the parents knew the reason. They knew what the cause was, but they can't choose if they want to report it, correct? Listen, I'm not the most informed person of this subject, but if a girl suddenly dies, I don't think the parents can just say, "None of your business, officer." The idea of bad parents isn't really that uncommon. Their behavior patterns, Sonny's view of his mother acted after the death. They knew about Sonny killing Mary, but they chose to do nothing about it, because of pure paranoia, about losing their only son after their daughter died because of an accident. Screw Sonny's friends then.
Open ending is lazy.
Honestly, if you got the ending dumb, then I don't know. To be fair, it's realistic. How the hell do you expect his friends to forgive him? I said the ending was lazy, not that I wanted or not to see his friends forgive him.
Also, I guess you don't even remember the game.
Cause Sonny didn't fight with Omori with the words of encouragement Sonny created. He took brief mentions that his friends did in the real world, outside of the dream world. Showing how even mentioning something mildly helpful can go a long way in combating depression. The things that Sonny's friends said were said without knowing that Sonny was the one behind Mary's death. The final fight isn't just Omori telling you to die, he's trying to protect Sonny from the truth. He already knows what he did at this point. There's so much in the fight. In the last phase, you can even see his friends hanging themselves in the background shadow because of something that Sonny did. Why are they hanged though? I went into Reddit to see what people had to say and only two gave a somewhat believable answer. People on that Reddit thread literally took it as, haha, scary. And the execution isn't good. The game keeps you in darkness about the story. Okay, I gotta be honest, I knew about the plot twist before I played the game. Most of the game, it was just me looking at how all of it pieces together. But to be honest, I genuinely believe that I will have realized it about it soon. It's easy to see the intentions the game has. Like, did anybody thought that Sonny wasn't hiding anything? Why will Mari be the only character that torments him? Also, just by looking at the character, you know he sucks. That thing literally had one of the major build-ups in the game. First collecting just 3 photos, then Sonny's despair, then finally the piano keys hit and you see Mari and Sonny standing on the top of the stairs. By the way, this pretty much happens at the very end. Also, why the hell will he need to do something to Aubrey to get the true ending? This is Sonny's story, how he overcomes it. Him helping or affecting anyone else apart from Basil throughout the story for his true ending will make 0 sense. That is correct, nobody else got affected by this. Those other characters that the game forces you to be with are not actually real. The figure we see that Sonny talks to in his dreams is Mary's spirit herself. The game hints it at countless times by surrounding Mary with the egret orchids all around her, all meaning that the thoughts can follow them into his dreams. The only thing in the dream that wasn't created by us or Sonny's imagination was Mary telling Sonny to forgive himself. Yeah, this is why Basil is the most hated character in Omori, but is hated in the whole game because of one character justified? No, and I actually think that Basil is one of the most interesting characters in the game, even though what he does is borderline mentally ill. The truth sequence focuses on the fact that Sonny killed Mary, and I don't know how you can call him a coward, even though he literally murdered someone he cared for the most.
The hell is this logic?
He picked up the violin for her, he named himself Omori to become the one thing Mary can love. He cared for her the most. Yeah, she's also dead now. Lost forest, lost library, piano room, deep ball, coral tree, Basil crying in the background, Sonny's backing up when Hero was crying, red blood covering right hand. Okay, a lot of symbolism pretty much. You're right about the amount of symbolism the game gives you, but it just adds to one of the most underwhelming parts of the game, the plot twist. Besides, some of these parts are cool and all, but they kinda go against the idea of this being Sonny's dream. Why am I getting told by an old guy that I have repressed memories in a metaphorical way? Why do amoeba-looking creatures keep telling Sonny intentionally subtle stuff, which isn't even subtle? It makes sense for the player to read this, but not for Sonny's brain to suddenly end up making stuff up. The excuse to this is the concept of headspace and black space, the Guardians, and fentanyl.
Sonny wasn't a coward, it was a case of dissociative amnesia.
Oh, of course, dissociative amnesia, how did I miss that? Just how the hell is he a coward? Do I get explained why escaping from your mistakes is the act of a coward? And also the fact that the point of the game is gathering courage and confronting your mistakes. They were literally children. Let's make a stop here. At what point being a kid makes doing bad acts somewhat excusable? Take notes everyone, if you want to make a story and don't want to bother it with any flaws it may have, just make the characters kids. It's easy enough and it's profitable. Second, if you even want foreshadowing, then you're just missing the entire point of Headspace. The entire point is that it doesn't have any foreshadowing. About cowardice, Sonny never hanged Mary. In fact, he never even really tried anything connected to the incident. In the photo description in the files... Oh, for God's sake, I don't know why I didn't play this game like a normal RPG Maker game, aka inspecting everything. Future me here, so it seems that the photos you collect at the end of the game have text in them, which you can't actually inspect to read. I don't even know at this point, man. This clarifies a bunch of things, and it also makes the story's argument worse in my opinion. So then I wrote this long ass text, and he just pointed out the 16 years old don't act like that point, and then told me to go see the hangman holes, even though they don't really do much besides one of them is literally this. Cool. There is a little bit more, but I haven't spent enough time with one person, so I'm just going to clarify some things. First, Mary's spirit coming back from the dead is kinda stupid. She can manifest in the real world, but she conveniently only appears when Sunny is alone. By the way, is she also the one that constantly torments Sunny then? Also, it ruins one of the most basic and most effective things out there, aka not being able to neither talk nor make peace with a person because the person is dead. Second, hiding valuable information for the story to make sense in this story-driven game is personally kind of a dumb decision. There's some gameplay elements that I need to retract and certain details, but I just don't want to talk about it right now. Got it. Appeal to reality. Ignore subtext and context, cherry-pick scenes and take them out of context. I know the context, I just think it doesn't fix it. Makes up problems that aren't even there, imply it's a walking sim. Yet that same mindset could be applied to Airbound. Moving on.
Thanks for telling the Omori community how much you think their game sucks. No one really needed to hear that, but okay. The truth is, it's not about their masterpiece, but me and some other friends like it. Of course, everyone can have their opinions, such as you and the person who uploaded this video, but going out of your way to tell them that something they like sucks because you don't like it is kinda... It's hard to word out what I'm trying to say. Do you get it? Summary, let the Omori community have fun with their game!
This person does FNAF Gacha Live content, that's everything you need to know. I don't like it because it's way too overrated. So you didn't play it? You just saw, oh, it has a community, how dare it! Exactly, also the game itself looks ass. Actually play the game, there's nothing that actually ruins the game, and if you just don't like the art style, then you're the one with the problem, not the game itself. Okay, so then I said this, which I don't know why I said it, there's no reason.
It looks like you can't understand what a cool game is. I enjoy Omori because it actually has effort put into it, unlike most copy and paste games.
Okay, I'm not gonna continue with the voice, I'm gonna die.
It has a good story and it's really good if you look into it. Each character is well written, while some of them are not shown as well as they could have been. Fan games can show that. If it's not your type of game, then leave it alone. You don't need to make an entire video about it.
Sure, it took a while to be developed, but that was because Omocat had no previous experience with game making.
Of course it's gonna have a few flaws, but most of all, it's a good game.
Then I also said this, which, again, it was stupid for me, there's no point in me saying this.
I did play them, yes! Compared to them, Omori is a worse game. If you dislike or hate something, don't make an entire video on it. You should have done more before making a video on it.
So then I asked, are you 12?
Nope, I just enjoy acting stupidly immature for no reason.
This person also does Gacha Live content, that's everything you need to know. I can agree on things like that the gameplay isn't the greatest, but I find it alright. To each their own, I guess. What I'm really wondering though, is if you don't see anything good in the game, then why did you play it multiple times? This isn't supposed to be gatekeeping or anything, I'm just curious. First, because I hate myself, that's pretty much everything you need to know about it. One thing I didn't say was that I remember when Omori came out for the Switch, one person put it on the same level as Hollow Knight. Which, I don't know about that. As someone who likes Omori, I don't even know why I clicked on this video, but whatever. I was with you towards the beginning, but then as soon as 8:17, you were just hitting on the art? This video had potential, but this just seems really rushed, or it wasn't that serious or something. Okay, let's see what I said at 8:17.
When the characters act like this, talking about characters.
I didn't even mention the art style. I guess you could have heard art in characters, and considering that my English is not the best, I think it's understandable. What can I say about the art style? Not much. I mean, art is subjective and all, but like, come on. The backgrounds are real-life pictures deep fried to oblivion. I respect your opinion, but I just think you gotta understand not everyone can enjoy a game. There isn't a single game that people universally love, cause there's something called opinions, you know? So if you don't like something, it doesn't automatically make it bad, unless it's really obviously bad. For example, who likes eating rocks? At this point, I had no interest in trying to argue, I just went with this. And then I ended up saying this.
Oh wow, so you're gonna bring Omocat into this? Nice. The whole point of Omori is to forgive yourself, and somehow you're bringing up something someone made over 10 years ago? I'm done. I don't want someone to tell me whether I should like a game or not. And you compare it to Security Breach? Oh, the second one with the
fact that you like FNAF and call some other game bad because you don't like it, it's funny. For real, all FNAF games are boring AF. And when you say that to any FNAF fan, they say, but the story! Sure, Omori's gameplay isn't that good, but it certainly is better than sitting in a room the whole game, using your flashlight and crap.
I don't think this is an opinion either, it just sucks. Cause there's something called opinions, you know? It would and should have stayed off as some boring wannabe horror game with nothing but jumpscares if it wasn't for the people that analyze it and make up dumb theories. Okay, I'm gonna try to answer all of this without getting an aneurysm. First of all, I said Security Breach was bad. My point was that there is sometimes where it isn't a thing of opinions about a game, and more so a thing about games being bad. Second, I like FNAF, but what differentiates you from me is that I like it. I don't care about other people hating it because I like it. Now, I don't know if the next comment was related or not because I can only read it on that story, but whatever. You did state you like FNAF, not Security Breach, just FNAF in general, I know that, in some other comment, so that's why I said that. Yeah, in another comment I also stated that Security Breach sucked. So you can insult someone for liking the DLC, which wasn't even the topic, but I can't? Okay. I didn't insult him, but yeah, that was my bad. You literally said the use of kids to show the story, which will be okay but knowing Omocat, so it's pretty obvious you were hinting at the same old crap. Yes, I will admit that as well. But not even using those tweets is the fact that this person still today shares certain weird traits. You compared it to Security Breach of all games first, and now you tell me I brought it up? Also, I was talking about FNAF in general, not Security Breach. I think you gotta learn how to read cause I even talk about the gameplay. You should know that Security Breach is a ton different from the average FNAF game. You only talk about the OG FNAF game's gameplay though. I don't know what to say, I'm still trying to figure out the point of this video. Can you tell me? Is it don't like this game? Or am I missing something? The title of the video is literally Omori sucks, it's not you should hate Omori. If after this video you somehow hate Omori, that's your fault. I respect your opinion, okay here we go again. But I don't respect the way you tear down everyone who speaks about why they enjoy the game. You don't have to like something, and I see the validity of your critiques, but honestly, it's so hard to get past how negative of a person you are in the comments section. I was really done at this point, so I said this, and I will admit that was not the best response I could have given. I didn't say your opinion sucks. I wasn't referring to you,
Hi Little, it's my great pleasure to be here and introduce myself to you. My name is Shu Qingye.
I said the way you treat people sucks. I just thought someone should tell you. Have a good day. You know what? Fair enough. I will try to respond to people in a better way. Moving on. I personally don't really get this, but I do understand how Headspace isn't everyone's cup of tea. One thing that I like about Headspace is deeper well. I like how all the NPCs are usually synonyms of nothing or having to do with nothing. It's all one big reference to the fact that you're slowly starting to forget your mission. I answered this, I think that part is a total township and not in a good way. I think this comment is a very respectful disagreement. I'm sorry that this guy basically said everything you enjoy is trash. You know what, I gave you the benefit of the doubt, but I think that might have been a mistake. I have responded respectfully to people here. Not to everyone, I will admit that, but I have responded respectfully. Even this person right here, I didn't call him an idiot, I expressed my opinion on the game calling the game trash, not him. For the last time, if you like Omori, good for you. Me saying the game is bad should not make you unable to enjoy the game, because if it does, then you probably don't actually like the game. Why did you come here to comfort this guy, like if you were her mother? There are things about Omori, about the people behind it, and things around it that makes it really hard for me to say anything good about it. The fact that someone as Omocat is the person behind the story, the fact that even though the game has 18+ rating, it seems there is more underage fans, the fact that Omocat supposedly made this game, and I quote, help them cope with their problems during a confusing part of their life, the lack of seriousness with their own work, like they used the personification of Sunny's trauma to tell they were going to an anime expo and they gave it a blush. The fact that they added extra content that can only be accessible in the Switch version of the game, and it's not only outside the game, you have certain things that are like, that's kind of a weird hug. Also, when did she got a smartphone? Like, I don't know about this Basil and Sunny relationship, it feels it goes a little bit too far. Also, Aubrey having an eggplant plushie that makes sounds. There's a lot of other vegetables out there, why the eggplant? The thing that angers me the most though is that Omocat made a sad story and exaggerated it to an extreme, proceeded to cover it in symbolism, and then made it quirky. This quirky type of stuff is fine, I heavily dislike it because I consider it to be vomitive, but it is of course just not for me. The problem is that Omocat mixed two polar opposites in one game and ended up making this inconsistent product that sometimes can be really good, but it gets butchered by the poo-poo. Before I end this video, I will say good things about this game. Are you ready? The music is really good. Yeah, the second part of the Other Worlds battle music is ear-shattering, but a lot of the music in Omori is generally great. The ambient music is also great, more especially talking about horror ambience music. I thought they made an incredible job. Somewhat related to the music is the final duet. I mean, it got me. What can I say? I don't see anything bad in the final duet. Maybe when it was shown, but not even that. Some other parts were great as well. I have a suspicion it was lag due to some other horror parts being cheap as hell, but I gotta give credit where credit's given. The best word I could give to describe Omori is inconsistent. Sometimes it can be great, some other times it's just mediocre at best. That inconsistency is what disgusts me so much and makes it so hard to praise things about it, because it just doesn't make sense that they can make things that are genuinely good and some other that are awful. One more thing that I noticed, why does Sonic has a bra? What's the deep meaning of this? Anyway, goodbye.